Hello friends, welcome back to my channel One Desktop. So in our previous video we have seen what is the DHCP server role, what is the DHCP scope and how we can configure them. And also we have seen how we can uh, get an IP address to the client machine from DHCP scope pool. So in today's video we will see what is Active Directory user, what is Active Directory computers, what is organization unit, what are the groups. So let's see one by one. So first, Active Directory user. Active Directory user provides an access to the network resources. So this is a physical person who is using our network resources. Like he is accessing the user profile. He is accessing the printer. He is accessing the shared files and folders. So Active Directory user provides all those access to these resources. Now Active Directory computers. Active Directory computer also provides the access to the network resources. This is a physical entity such as a computer. Any one user is using a computer as a source to access all the network resources. What is organization unit? Organization unit is a container in the Active Directory domain that can contain different objects from the same AD Active Directory domain. Simply, organization unit is an hierarchy to arrange our users and computers. So the main advantage of organization unit is for delegating the permissions and linking group policies. What is mean by delegating a permission? Now, for example, if there is an help desk team, now they want to access the users and computers to the particular department. So we can keep all those users and computers in a particular organization unit, and to that organization unit we can delegate a control to that help desk team that they can only be access the resources of that particular organization unit. And if we want to implement any group policy objects, then it is easy for us to implement the group policy objects based on the organization unit. So whatever the group policy that we implement on the organization unit, that will apply to all the objects that contains that organization unit. Next, groups. What is groups? Groups are basically divided into two types, security group and distribution groups. So in security group, this will provide an access to the resources. So for example, we have 100 employees and we have one shared folder, for example. And it will be very difficult for me to always give a permission to those 100 employees one by one. So instead of what I will do, I will create one security group, and I will put that and I will keep the users in that security group, and that security group I will apply to the shared resources. So whenever if any employee joins, or whenever an employee leaves the company, it will be easy for administrator to give access. So if he simply add that user or remove that user to that security group, he will get all the permissions and access whatever that security group is having. Now in distribution group is simply a exchange environment group. So this is basically a group email in terms of a exchange server. So this distribution group responsibility is only to distribute the emails to the members of that group. Now, what are the group scopes? There are three group scopes when you are trying to create any group, either a distribution or security group. You will get three options like domain, local, global, and universal. So you need to first understand which level of permission you need to give to that security group. So what is domain local? Domain local you manages the permissions to different types of resources like NTFS permission, remote desktop access, providing Windows privileges, using a GPO, group policy object security, and these kind of whatever the resources having. But only to that particular domain. If you are having like a number of domains, so this domain local will provide access to the resources of that particular domain. And what is a global scope? This will provide the access resources in another domain. Now, if you have multiple domains, so if you need the access to the other domain, then that group should be a global one. What is the universal? Universal is used in a large Active Directory forest. Universal will provide whatever the domain, tree, forest, all these accesses you will get in the universal group. But in universal group, if you are making any changes in the universal group, will make the changes in the global catalog, because this is a forest level. So let's see our practical and check what we can do with our lab today. Let's try to create a user first. Open your server manager, click on tools, click on Active Directory, users and computers. So currently these are the OUs, default OUs. So now here we don't have any our predefined organization units. So we will create organization units when we come to the organization unit chapter. So now I will just try to create one user, and let's see what are the options available. So click on users, just right click on white space and go to new and click user. Now here you can enter your details. The first name I will keep as Nouman, keep as Muhammad, and I will keep my user login name as n.muhammad. This is our logon. I will click on next, and I will try to keep the password. Now it's our choice what we need to select. So in my case, I will select user must not change the password at next logon. But in your company, if you are creating a user for the first time, you should enable this option, user must change password at a next login. So this will prompt the user to change the password and keep his own personalized password. And if you are giving any service account, or if you are giving any for example an auditor, and you want him to use the same username and password, then you can check user cannot change password. You can check user cannot change the password. And password never expire. If you are having any group policy to expire the password in every 3 months, then you can select like the password never expires. For example, if there is any service accounts, you can click this one. And if you want to enable this account or disable, you can check this one. So as of now, I will uncheck all this one. Then click on next. And this will finish. And this will create your user. Now let's see what are the options available here. Right click the user and properties. So this is general. Here you have all the information. If you want, you can put your email address here, information. If you want any description, you can keep. If you want any telephone number, you can enter here in general. In address, you can keep the address of your company. These are all the options available. This account. If the account is locked, it will show here the reference account has been logged. So you have to click here, unlock account and apply if it is locked. And these are the options that already we saw while creating the user. And there are another options available as well. So if you want your account to be expire automatically, then you have to just click on end of and then you have to select your date and time. So in my case, it is account never expires. So here what is profile? Here we have two options, user profile and home folder. Basically, user profile is a roaming profile. In what does the roaming profile does? For example, you have set up a user and he logged in and he customized everything and he has his own wallpaper, he has his Outlook configured, he has his folders, files and everything. Now he logged off from that computer and he is trying to log into another computer. When he tries to log into another computer, whatever the profile was created in the first computer, all the profile will be automatically transferred to that new computer. So roaming profile, it will carry the environment variables like whatever the customizations you have made and the user's data from one computer to another computer. So wherever in the company you go and log in with your credential, you will get the same uh, feel. Now what is home folder? In home folder, the same simple difference is it does not carry your profile. You will find all your data is stored in the server path, but whenever you go and log into some another system, you will get your data, but you will not get your customizations. Hope you understand this. So this is all. You can enter the details if you want. Now we have seen what is how to create. Now if you want to disable or reset the password, so simply right click on the user, click on reset password, and here you can give any password. In my case, as of now, I will not check, but you have to check this when you are resetting the password for any user. And I will click OK. The password for Nouman Mohammed has been changed. Now user has left the company and I want to disable the account. So right click on the user and click on disable account. Once you disable, has been disabled. And you can see there is a arrow mark on the user. That means this represents the account is a disabled account. If you want to enable, just right click the user and click on enable account. Now the properties of this user is showing some limited uh, tabs here. Now I want to see more information. Either you can use the PowerShell and you can use the commands, or we have one option here for attribute editor. To enable that option, click on View and then click on Advanced Features. Now this has enabled so many other OUs which are previously hidden. Now here I will go and where is my user? Yeah, Nouman Mohammed, right click, properties, and if you see there are some other tabs available. Now if you go to attribute editor, here you can see like what is the logon time, what is the log off time, when was the last password set, all these informations can be seen here. If you see here it is last log off, never, last log on never. Why? Because just now I have created this one. This user is not used for any logons as of now. And this is password last set. When this is today, just now we have set the password. So this is showing exactly the same time. So let's check the same values for other user. For example, Chris Gale. Where is Chris Gale? Yes, he is here. Right click, properties, and attribute editor. Last log off, never. Last log on. When did he last log on? 21/8/2022. And when was his last password set? Last password set for 16th August 2022. So in this way you can see the more attributes of a user. So let's see what are the computers now. So whenever you join any computer to a domain, it will automatically populate in the computer section. So now how you can manage, you can right click and click on if you want to reset account and disable account. What is the difference between reset account and disable account? In disable account, when you click on disable account, the computer will be disabled. Yani user will not be able to log into that computer. Now, what is reset account? When we click at the reset account, the computer will be removed from the domain. You need to join that computer again into the domain. This is the difference. Now, if you click on manage, but to manage this one, your computer should be turned on. So this is all the local settings of that computer. From here you can see what are the local users and groups available. And if you want to create any user, you can directly click here and create a new user here. I can keep a new user as one tech stop, full name one tech stop admin. Where is the one tech stop admin? User must change. I will just remove this one. Password will be okay. The password doesn't match. Let's enter again and create. So in this way, you can create a user into the directly to the user's machine. So if you want to add this to the local user machine groups, you can add to the local user machine groups. You can check the performance of that machine. You can manage the device managers. Okay. You can do the disk management of that machine. You can see all the details here. So from this computer management, you can access that particular machines, all the resources. So now let's see what is the organization unit and how we can create the organization units. So to create an organization unit, what I will do, I will just create an hierarchy. First, I will create my company name. Then in that one, I will create a departments. Then I will, under that departments, I will create the users. Now let's create our company name OU. New, right click on the directory, go to new, then create, then click on organizational unit. Now you can keep the name. I will keep as a one tech stop. Now here is the check mark, protect container from accidental deletion. So when this is checked, then when you, uh, for example, accidentally if you are trying to delete this OU, this option will protect for deleting. If the organization unit is deleted, then whatever the objects containing under that organization unit will also be deleted. So you make sure that this is checked and click on OK. Now here one text stop is created. I will just refresh. Okay. Now under that this one text stop, I will create another OU. This is like a sub OU. Right click, new, and click on organizational unit. And I will keep this as a IT department and click on OK. Now under this one text of there is already a OU called one IT department. See, likewise, I will create another organizational unit with the name finance. Click OK. So in this way, we can be able to create our organizational units. Now we have users. Now if I want to move a user to particular department, for example, Chris Gale. If I want to move this Chris Gale to IT department, so right click on Chris Gale and click on move and select your organizational unit. I'll select one text of and I want to move him to the IT department. Now if you go and click on IT department, the user will be available here. So these organization units will help when I want to give any delegations or if I want to implement any group policy. Now for example, if I want to give a delegation to Chris Gale to access the objects which are containing under IT department. So the one you want to give the access, just right click on that OU and click on delegate control. Then click on next. You need to select a user and groups. If you want to give the group, then you can. I will select here Chris. Click on next. So these are all the delegations that you can provide to a user on that organizational unit. So here I will select create, delete and manage user accounts. Then I will click on next. Then finish. In this way you can delegate a control to a user to use a particular organization unit and its objects. So now let's see what are the groups. Now in order to create the group, the same I will try to create one group in IT department. Just right click, new, and you will click on group. Now, as we have seen in before, like this is a scope. This is a group scope and this is a group type. The security is to assign the permissions and to give the delegations. Distribution is your email distribution group. And this is a group scope. You want to limit the scope of this group to domain local or global or universal. So this I will create a scope with global and the group type as a security. Now group name I will keep as IT support and I will click on OK. Now here the IT support group is already created. Now how to add the members on this group? Just double click the user, the group IT support, and here you can see the members and you can add the members by clicking this add button. I'll try to add the Chris Gale to our IT support security group. Apply. OK. Now if you go and check the properties of Chris Gale and under the option of member of, then here you can see he is already a member of IT support security group. So this is how you create the security groups. Okay friends, I hope you have understand what is the user, computer, organizational unit, groups and what are its purpose. So in our next video, we will see what are the basic concept, what is the basic concept for group policy, and we will also see some basic group policies, how we can create. And we will also see how those group policies will be affecting to our environment. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much, guys. Please like and subscribe my channel and stay tuned for more upcoming videos. Thank you so much.